Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not asking you to, like, join the Green Berets or something. There's a way to fight this battle where you don't have to pick up a knife or a sword to do so. God gives us a battle plan. And it's spelled out beautifully in Romans chapter 12. Listen to this. Write it on your soul. Memorize the verse. Burn it into your heart. Listen to this. Do not be overcome by evil, but overcome evil with good. What's the battle plan for engaging the Nephilim? Overcoming evil with good. When one Nephilim insults another Nephilim, that Nephilim insults the other Nephilim back and does him one better. And when one Nephilim cheats and steals from another Nephilim, he cheats and steals one better. You kill my cat, I'll kill your dog. You kill my dog, I'll kill your wife. You kill my wife, I'll kill your kids. That's the Nephilim. Jesus says if somebody strikes you on the right cheek, offer him the left. If somebody will steal your cloak, give him your shirt too. Do not be overcome by evil. Don't play the Nephilim game. Overcome evil with good. When you see your enemy, pray for those who abuse you and those who despitefully use you. Bless them and curse not, says Jesus. He's teaching us how to be sons of God. It says in there, that you may be the sons of your Father who is in heaven. He's giving us instruction on how to be the mighty men of old. Men of renown, women of renown. We know how the Nephilim play their games. We can't play those games. I understand it's like a flood. Sometimes you're going to feel like you got your finger in the dike. That's good. Put your finger in the dike. Be the Dutch boy. Keep the flood from coming through. Just say, not on my watch, Jesus. Maybe next year, but not on my watch. So, how do we overcome evil with good? How do we do that? I gave you some brief little, turn the other cheek. When somebody abuses you, pray for them. When they curse you, you bless them. Always try to do good and to love people. But I want to give you some practical, down-to-earth, nitty-gritty things you can do to engage this battle, this cultural war, and go to war with the Nephilim. We need to overcome evil with good. How do we do that? There's a group that I'm part of. It's called For Tucson. You've heard me mention it a few times. For Tucson, right now, started out as a group of pastors with one goal in mind, trying to make Tucson one of the most livable cities in the world. We identified, and I forget the number, about a dozen sectors. What is Tucson? How do we engage Tucson and make Tucson better? What's Tucson? Well, Tucson is schools. Tucson is families. Tucson is businesses. Tucson is criminal justice. Tucson is healthcare. Tucson is philanthropy. Tucson is ecology. And we identified every sector of what constitutes our society. And over each sector, we began appointing a leader and a team. Of the a dozen or so sectors, we got about 9 of them with leadership and teams formed. And these teams sit around and they say, okay, how do we make our sector good, godly? And how do the sectors crosstalk and work together? And I've had the benefit and the blessing of introducing probably the first 3 For Tucson projects. Let me share with you what they are. The first one is community restitution services. That falls under the criminal justice one. You heard about all the crime statistics. Could you imagine this? There are 10 justices in our justice courts in the entire Pima County, 10. Every case that's not a big case, that's not a felony, goes through them. Every case that's not a felony goes through them. And they say, okay, you've done this. The law says either it's a $3,000 fine, 6 months in jail, or both. That's up to the judge's discretion. The judge can also sentence the people to community service. One of the judges and I got together and I said, how about you sentence your people, instead of to jail, instead of to fining, through a church-led program or a faith-based program? And they do community service instead of jail time. Now, we might have them paint a building, but we might send them to Financial Peace University. Maybe they're thieves because they need money. Maybe they don't have money because they don't know how to handle their money. So instead of punishing them, we'll put them in a faith-based money management program. Maybe somebody threw a chair through a restaurant window. Well, instead of sending them to jail for a year, how about we put them into a faith-based anger management class? Judge said, let's do it. And he started sending people to us. And I started talking to other pastors, and they said they wanted in. And he started talking to other judges, and he said they want in. He's got 3 more judges waiting to start sending us people. One wants to send her entire caseload to us, her entire caseload. And when this program starts working, the other justices are going to want in. Not the least of because the judge I'm working with is one of the head judges. Can you imagine the impact we will make on Tucson if 100,000 of those people, or 50 of those 1,000 people come through our doors and the doors of all these churches in town? How cool would that be? What does it need to happen? It needs volunteers. It needs business owners to say, I will take one of your CRS people and I will put him to work in my business. He will work for me for 100 hours for free, and I will mentor him. And I will be there for him, and I will pray for him, her. It takes people to supervise. We can bring in half a dozen CRS people to do work on our property here at this church. But it takes people who are willing to come with them, work with them, supervise them, and mentor them. Be there for them in case they want to change. Maybe they're ready to join a group of Christian men who go out fishing and hunting and shooting and just hanging out. And instead of hanging out with druggies and gangsters, they're hanging out with you. That's what it takes. It takes volunteers. And it takes money. Because the program already has such potential that we can't run it anymore. I've got to hire a full-time director. So I'm going all over the place trying to find a grant to hire a director so we can have a full-time person who can put together a team of volunteers, start recruiting churches, meeting with the judges. That's going to cost $75,000 to $100,000 a year. We need money. A friend of mine, he was active in leading me to the faith many years ago. And I met with him when I was on vacation in California last week. And he's now a pastor. He's done it for about a year now. He was the interim pastor because his pastor got sick or something. And now he likes it. He wants to stay in there. And while he was pastoring, the air conditioning system went out in their church. And he got up in front of the church and said, we need, I don't know, $3,000 or whatever for a new air conditioning system, and I've got some really good news. The money's already here. And everybody was like, yay, yay! He says, the problem is we got to get it out of your pockets. Guy's a pastor for 1 year, and I'm already learning from him. $100,000 to make Tucson a better place to live? Is that a hard thing? Certainly shouldn't be. So if you've got a heart for this and you want to donate time or treasures to this project, donate it. We'll take what we can get. That's one small piece of what we're doing to overcome evil with good. I'm going to give you 7 more domains, Sunday through Monday. If you want to write them down, you can pray for each of these sectors. We have bookmarks available. Just contact the office with these 7 sectors on them so you know which one to pray for, Sunday through Monday. Doesn't mention all of them, but most of them. So, Sunday, that's today. Pray for families. That's what I want you to pray for every Sunday for the rest of your life until Tucson's the Garden of Eden. Pray for the families of Tucson. Start here. Pray for the families of Book of Life Community Church. Then for the families of this neighborhood, the Palo Verde Neighborhood Association. Then for the families of this district. Then for the families of this city. Then for the families of this county. Then for the families of this state. Now, maybe you want to pray. Maybe you want to get involved. You can get involved. You can adopt. You can foster. You can support those who adopt. You can support those who foster. There's this family who came here from Afghanistan. Their public aid has run out. Would that be supporting a family? You can come to the Afghan Gala and bring some money just to bless them and pay their electric bill. Sunday is families. Monday, government. And again, start local. Pray for the city council and the mayor. Pray for the Pima County Board of Supervisors and the county director. Work out to the state and our representatives. Work into the Senate, the House, and the President of the United States. Pray for those in authority over us. The Bible says we should, that we might live a peaceable life. They got our lives in their hands, people. If they're corrupt, we're messed up. If they're good, we're blessed. Pray that they'll be good. Tuesday, pray for schools. Start with the schools your kids go to or the schools in your neighborhood. Then move to the schools around this church and work your way out. And maybe praying for schools isn't good enough. Why don't you adopt a school? A men's group can adopt a school in this neighborhood, pull their weeds, paint their walls, buy them toilet paper. We can do things, people. We can make Tucson a better place. We can overcome evil with good.